Welcome back to Arsenal, guys. The best response Arsene Wenger had when he lost 3-0 to Manchester City is to lose 3-0 to Manchester City. I mean, it's just getting to the point where it's just so laughable and it's just so sad. It's really, really sad to see. And as you can see from the title, there is going to be ranting. There's plenty of ranting to be had, but I'm not going to be ranting on the game. No. What I'm going to be ranting and raving about is actually not what I've just seen over the 90 minutes as Arsenal hosted Manchester City in the Premier League. I'm not going to be talking about that. Well, I'm going to be talking about the game first and foremost, but the thing that I'm going to be ranting about is going to be coming on later in the video. But in actual terms of the game, and I don't want to spend too long about it, it was a very, very odd game to watch, and, you know, a strange game. You know, the weather has been absolutely atrocious outside. The Emirates, you know, was completely, almost empty. You know, it was like there was not many people there. There were so many empty seats. Whether that's a combination of the horrendous weather conditions out there or the fact that, you know, how bad Arsenal have been recently, could be a combination of the two. You know, very, very strange game, and I don't actually think Arsenal played particularly badly tonight. You know, how awful and bad that they played in the Carabao Cup Final against Manchester City. You know, they were all over the shop. They didn't turn up whatsoever. Tonight, they gave Manchester City a good go, and we were just beaten by sheer quality. All three of Manchester City goals were absolutely world-class and electric. And Manchester City are head and shoulders better than any other Premier League team. I think actually they're the best team in the world at this particular moment. They are absolutely stunning. All three of those goals were absolutely world-class. You couldn't do anything about them. And in the second half, Manchester City, you know, stepped off the gear. Their 3 goals to the good. They started to come a little bit sloppy with their play. You know, their passing wasn't really going to where it was. There wasn't as they weren't as crisp and as sharp and as strong as they were in the first 45 minutes. In the second 45 minutes, you know, they invited Arsenal, you know, to give them pressure. Arsenal dominated the ball, had a couple of chances, had that penalty, which was an absolutely ridiculous and stupid penalty, absolutely poor from, you know, Aubameyang. He just placed it, you know, into place where he placed it in the right hand side where, you know, he always puts his penalties, and Edson knew that coming into the game, and he was so predictable as where he placed that ball into the penalty area, and it was, you know, a comfortable and easy save by Edson in the end. A couple of hairy moments from Petr Cech. He obviously doesn't get his 200 clean sheet, and defensively, I've seen, you know, plenty of worse defensive performances from the Gunners, and tonight I don't think particularly we were that bad. There was some kind of response, and at least it looked like they were trying. You know, the fact that we lost the game, and, you know, it doesn't rattle. I'm not angry tonight about the defeat because our Premier League season is over. We're not going to get top 4 football. Manchester City are already, you know, Premier League champions. I know they haven't kind of guaranteed that, and they've not, you know, they're not confirmed as Premier League champions, but they're 16 points clear. They're 30 points clear of Arsenal. They're going to win the Premier League title, you know, easily. They've done that. Arsenal are nowhere near getting top 4 football. You know, I was even saying that had we won the game, maybe there was a slight hint that if we could not lose any more Premier League games, if we could get maximum points winning out at the end of the season, we might have a very slight chance of getting into the top 4, but that is just, you know, well and truly gone. Our season over. We're now just playing off a fixture list between now and the end of the season in the Premier League. Our season solely rested on the Europa League season, so there wasn't really anything at stake, and that isn't why I'm too annoyed at that performance, because of the fact that I expected it. You know, Manchester City are a fantastic side. I didn't really expect Arsenal to do anything. I actually thought that it wouldn't be, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Arsenal actually won tonight, because when the press is off, they turn up, but Manchester City's quality is too good, and, you know, fair play to Manchester City. Well done to Pep Guardiola. They absolutely smashed it, and they tore us to pieces in pretty atrocious weather conditions to play like that. Absolutely brilliant. But what I want to rant about, and why I've put rant in the title, is because of what has happened over the last couple of days in terms of the reaction to the Carabao Cup Final defeat. And not going to lie, I was one of them. I was absolutely fuming. I was so annoyed. I was so depressed on Sunday evening. And I said at the end of the video that I was done with Arsenal. And obviously, I live and breathe Arsenal. I put it out on my Twitter as well. I absolutely love Arsenal Football Club. And to the day that I die, I will be supporting Arsenal all the time, and I will always watch them. Like, the reason I don't go up to the Emirates and travel home and away, firstly, from a financial state of point, I just don't have the money and the funds to actually do that. And secondly, you know, I just don't have the time to give up every single weekend to travel the length and width of the country, and it wouldn't be feasible at this stage. Maybe in the future, but certainly not for now. So, you know, I'm one of the people that watch Arsenal on the telly. I'm, you know, what you refer to as an armchair fan, but I watch so much analysis of Arsenal in my spare time. I do an Arsenal series on my YouTube channel. I devote a lot of time to Arsenal, and I've been to see Arsenal live on multiple occasions, right? I've also gone to the tour, so I've spent, a lot of money. I spend every year getting these shirts. So, I put in a good wealth of money to Arsenal Football Club, and I live and breathe and love Arsenal Football Club, and that's why I get so annoyed. And obviously, I'm not going to ever stop supporting them, despite how bad we are at this current stage. But I was watching so many people rip into Arsenal, deservedly so. I did the same. On Sunday, Arsenal were spineless. They were a bottle job. They played absolutely shit, and they didn't even try. They didn't even look to turn up to a major cup final, and that is inexcusable and unforgivable, right? But I was watching one of the segments on ESPN, and Craig Burley, you might have heard of him, he used to play for Chelsea. He referred to the Arsenal fans as, and I'll quote, "They are as spineless as those players," and it really got my goat. I was so pissed off when I saw that, because I was sitting there and thinking to myself, how dare you? Who the fuck does he think he is, referring to us fans as being as spineless as those players out there on the field? These, and as Arsenal fans, right, there are people who are Arsenal fans who travel length and width through rain and snow. There were so many people, and those Arsenal fans that have travelled out tonight with a good intention and sitting in the back of their mind, they must have thought that they're going to get absolutely ripped to pieces. And in these horrific weather conditions, if I was an Arsenal fan, even with a season ticket holder, I wouldn't have gone out tonight, because the weather is just, if it closes in on you, it puts you in a really, really bad position and place to be. And, with those supporters and in mind of the love that they show for this football club, they travelled to the Emirates in pretty horrific weather conditions and, sat there for 90 minutes to support a team that, frankly, is not giving anything back in return. And you've got to give huge respect and, commend them for that. I have given up 90 minutes of my evening. I could have been doing anything else that I wanted to do, but no, I sat and watched Arsenal and supported them despite being 3-0 down. Any other fan would have just turned off. I never turn off Arsenal. I stay with them to the very last minute, right? And I put in so much time and energy into this football club, you won't believe. And for someone to sit there, and all of these media lovix that are sitting there and slamming us as football fans, you have no fucking right. You have no fucking right to do that. And I'll tell you this for why, okay? It is not our fault as fans, and for you media lovelies to sit there and say that us sitting here and basically accepting Arsenal's constant mediocrity and failings, and that means that we're spineless. No, we're not spineless. We're not spineless whatsoever, because we can't change it. We can't change what's going on at Arsenal Football Club. And I've always said, I've maintained from day one, until the board, until the manager, until we get a completely new set of people working behind the scenes and a new set of players, nothing is going to ever change at Arsenal Football Club. Until Arsene Wenger, until the board, until we get a new set of players, until any of those three things happen, nothing is ever going to change, right? And, we have tried, we've protested, we've wrote to the club, we've done so many different things. The success of Arsenal Fan TV has shown that the majority of Arsenal fans are so unhappy and sad at the state of Arsenal Football Club. We can't change it. We can only try and give 100%, 10% of our time in terms of giving support to the team and backing them to the very, end, through the positive and the negative times. Through good and bad, you stick with your team and you are loyal to your team, right? And Arsenal do that. We might whinge, we might moan, we might even whine, and we have and are certainly in our right. We are able to give our opinion because we put so much time, energy, and most importantly money into this football club, that we have every right to showcase and vent our frustrations at Arsenal's constant failings in the Premier League, in the Cup, in the Champions League. In every competition, Arsenal always fail, okay? And for you media people to sit there and say that we're spineless is absolutely out of order, and I'm not having it. It's absolutely out. How dare you? Who do you think you are, labelling us as fans as spineless? We're not spineless. If anything, we should be given praise for the fact of sitting and standing by a club that gives nothing back in return. And it absolutely rips me straight. And anybody out there that can say and, look at me, someone like me who does Arsenal videos, I've had a couple of people say to me that I only do Arsenal videos for views. I live and breathe, I fucking love this club with all of my passion and all of my heart. And for anyone to sit there and say that I'm not a real fan, or to anyone out there and sees these Arsenal fans who travel through the length and width of the country and puts in endless hours and money and time into this club, and to label them as saying that they're not real fans or they're spineless, words, there are no words for that. Absolutely sickening, disrespectful, and how dare anybody say that? And that is what really I want to rant about. It is so sad to see this state of what a football club is. I've gone through it so many times before. I've sat and spoken to this camera. I did a video in November talking about the story of Arsenal's downfall, and it gets used every single day because people want to hear the story. And as I say, my final word on it is until Arsene Wenger leaves, until the board goes, until we have a complete overhaul at this club, nothing is going to change. All we can do now is try and support Arsenal 110%. We've got Brighton on Sunday, and our season solely rests on the Europa League. You know, in the Premier League, we're just seeing out a fixture list. It all comes down to the Europa League, and if we go out of that, you know, it's just going to be a horrible season. And I feel sad as a fan because I'm not enjoying this season. I want this season to end. I fucking want this season to end so badly. I'm not enjoying it. I don't enjoy Arsenal games at the minute. There was a slight hint and a feeling when we brought in Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan that the new era was going to begin, and that's just been thrown away. You know, since Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan have arrived at Arsenal, we've won one game. Lost to Spurs, lost twice to Manchester City, and if we lose to Burnley, I mean, it's just, you can't defend it anymore. It's indefensible, it's inexcusable, but never, ever question the loyalty that these fans show to Arsenal Football Club, because without us as fans, this football club wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be Arsenal Football Club without us as fans. And always remember that. And don't let anybody say that you're not a real fan if you put in time, devotion and money to your football club. Because it's fucking out of order. And anyone says it, like, how dare you, incidentally. That's what I've got to say on analysing Arsenal. I'm glad I got that off my chest. And yeah, you know, plain truth of the matter is Arsenal are all over the shop. They're a shambles from top to bottom. But nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. So we've just got to get behind the team and try and support them from now until the end of the season. And hopefully salvage something of what's been a frankly shit season for us. Please make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, check out my other great content as well. And I'll rejoin you on Sunday as we host Brighton at the Emirates Stadium. And can we get back to winning ways? Because it's been a fucking long time since we actually won a game. Take care and see you all later.